Staying connected is so much more important during the holidays and the lockdown, but what if you can't hear what your friends and family are saying on those phone or Zoom calls? The CEO of Auburn and Mountain Hearing Centers, Hish Hussain, joins us this morning with more. Hello.
Hi, thanks for having me on.
So you're considered an essential service, so you're going to be open during the lockdown, correct?
That's correct. As a regulated health practitioner, we are open for business. Slight restrictions, but yes, anytime you have any hearing issues, you can come and see us. We're still there.
Right, and hearing issues are kind of amplified, aren't they? If that's perhaps the wrong term to use, but when people are wearing masks, it's very muffled. Sometimes if you're to the point where you're kind of reading lips, that's difficult.
So yeah, when you have a hearing impairment or wear hearing aids, whether you know it or not, you're actually reading people's lips as well. And of course, wearing the masks provides a bit of an obstacle where they cannot see the lips. So it all comes down to the hearing aids, right? So if you have any like social gatherings in the house, even family gatherings, and there's a bit of noise in the background, and if you're wearing a mask, if you're visiting, it's going to be very difficult for you to hear properly.
Mm-hmm. I'm thinking of all those Zoom calls too, where families aren't supposed to be visiting, but there's all that. You see somebody kind of sitting on a call, just kind of completely disconnected because they cannot hear.
Well, for Zoom and FaceTime or anything that's using a computer, there are devices that are available that we can plug into the computer, and it will stream it right into a hearing aid, for example, wirelessly, and you can hear. Quite nicely, though. It's what we call improving the signal-to-noise ratio, and the sound quality is quite good.
Mm-hmm. And hearing technology has come so far from what used to be quite large hearing aids. Now they're very tiny, and you almost don't know people are wearing them at all. And the technology inside them is improved.
The technology has improved greatly, especially for those people that are worried about hearing properly and noise. So a lot of people have older technology and they think that's it. They can hear with the hearing devices. But as the years go by, the technology just becomes so advanced that hearing in noise becomes less of a challenge to that person, right?
Mm-hmm. And how do you know if you're having hearing problems?
Well, you're going to say everybody's mumbling. You're going to say, I hear selectively. We get a lot of spouses sending their better half in because they can't hear when they're spoken to, especially if you're like doing the dishes and trying to talk with TV in the background, right? It's harder to hear with hearing loss. You still hear, so that's the mistake people make is they think, okay, I can hear, so I'm okay, but usually you're not okay.
Mm-hmm. And again, if you're doing dishes and you've got everything going, you're not talking directly to the person, right? You're probably talking there behind you or to the side or something like that.
If you have a hearing impairment or wear hearing aids, one of the things is you have to be facing the speakers so you can still see them and hear them appropriately. Hearing aids have a limit. They don't pick up the sound 2 blocks away. I mean, we can make it do that, but then you hear the conversations going on in someone else's house, right?
Yes, yes. We've got about a minute left, but I want to talk about the importance of social isolation and hearing, because sometimes if you can't hear things and it's too much of a bother, I'm not going to go out there, I'm not going to do this, you isolate yourself, don't you?
That's correct. And so there are many studies out there right now, including a really good one from Johns Hopkins University, where they show that if you're socially isolated because of hearing loss, it can lead to a lot of things such as depression. It can lead to dementia. There are links to these days. So there are a lot of issues that occur when you have a hearing loss, and we like to tell people, treat your hearing loss sooner rather than later, because the longer you wait, the harder it is to get the help and to adjust to hearing properly, right?
Okay, Hish, we have run out of time. That's Hish Hussain from Auburn and Mountain Hearing Centers. The centers are open during the lockdown, just with increased protocols. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot.